What's up, Squints?
Hi.
How's everything going? What are we doing?
We're working on the Morse minor.
Yeah, minor mistake. We're out in the garage. Got some cool stuff going on.
And we're finally using a GoPro.
Yep, using the GoPro again because my phone was acting up. So as you can see, we got some stuff welded in here. So
And we have a selfie camera.
What? Selfie camera? Where? Oh, you mean the...
Yeah, the selfie thing.
Hold on, let me extend it. Hold on, then. So we can go like this. Watch. Ready? Whoa. Whoa. All right, stay tuned. What's up, YouTube world? So the minor mistake, the frame is actually in the car. Control arms are in the car.
Oh yeah, they are.
The hubs are on temporarily. I have one wheel and tire, I'll show you. Is actually
Oh, you do? I didn't know that.
on currently. This tire is a little tall. It's not really what I want to use, and the rim is not really the rim we're going to be using, but it's just for mock-up. So what we got going on here is we leveled the car. So right now it's, if you can see, I used like little shims and leveled the car so it's exactly level across. I ran a center string, so front to back. Got the frame in here and got some control arms mounted the last time and got it all mocked up. So what I did was, once the frame was squared in there good, I took all my measurements and I had some rectangle stock, some thick wall. Actually, it's pretty thick. It's like 1/8 inch wall. And I made some bracing to get the frame rail to the existing frame rails. That area right there, that's gonna get cut off eventually. The end's there and the end over there. And don't laugh, but if you look at my bracing, you notice how they both go in that direction like that.
Where? Let me see.
And like that. I welded this side, and then I came over here and I started welding this side, and I had already looked. I wasn't paying attention, but it doesn't really matter because I'm going to do an X inside anyways. I'm going to X them out. So that's just for rigidity to keep all this squared in there, but it's coming out good. I had to stretch the A-arm, upper control arm mount areas because this was for the Pinto, remember? And these are Mustang 2, so this position is a little wider. But I got the T-bolts mounted in here, got that stretched, re-weld. I just got to do a couple finish welds on the sides, finish boxing these in. We need to make mounts for the coilovers. I got the tubing that's going on this side. I got to cut the tubes to fit inside here so I can get those in there, weld all those in. I did notice on my steering rack mounts, the way the steering rack's set up, that mount works out good. If problem is I can only go so far because this is a different size. This clamp only works with this area. But then I come over here and the measurements on the original diagram were a certain width across and it was wrong, so I have to move this over. It's my own fault. I should have waited, but no big deal. I'll just cut this and move it over, re-weld it. But that'll give me a good angle for the steering, and really at that point I can finish weld a lot of the bars and a lot of the brackets. These are temporary. I just threw those on there.
I didn't know you had those on.
Yeah, it's just to hold the front, because this is the old setup that somebody had done. So this is all going to get fixed. I got to figure out how I'm going to incorporate radiator and stuff in here, but
Yeah,
I'm not doing anything with that until I have motor trans set in, motor mounts, all that set. Then I'll worry about fixing this front area here. That's just for structure, so that way the front end is nice and rigid and tight. So, but the plan right now is we're gonna fix this So my steering rack works. My steering rack inner tie rods are too long, as you can see. So I have to cut these down. I got to sleeve them, shorten them, put a sleeve. It'll be strong enough with a thick wall tubing that I'm going to use. And I have some tie rod ends coming that are just stock standard tie rod ends. So that should work out pretty good. So what do you think, Squints? Squints needs a haircut. Look at that hair. So he had his mullet.
I have it long.
Look at the back. So he had a mullet from football over the summer.
It's long.
And football's been over for a while now. And he did not want to cut his hair. And it is just like, dude, you have a mop head. Look at this.
No, I don't.
Oh my God. That is, I gotta start wearing a hat or something. Look at that. And you
I'll go get a hat.
yeah, but the problem is, hey, look, dude. You keep putting this over here so it's like flat right here. But you have this like puff ball right here that it just doesn't look right. Your head looks 5 times bigger than your body.
I'll go get a hat. I'll go get a hat if you want me to.
No, I don't care. You could, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm just making fun of you.
Hey.
Cool. So I'm gonna start cutting up. Squint's gonna man the camera. What's up? Yeah, these are all my little shims that I use for getting everything squared up. They're like little paint sticks. I just break them up and they're all different sizes and shapes. So it works good. That's all I got, man. You just you use what you got. So I don't have a really nice jig table or any kind of frame table or whatever you want to call it. I just set it up on the floor, make sure everything is level, and then I start measuring off of level. So as long as you start level, it'll hopefully end level, unless you make a mistake. But I've made a lot of mistakes. That's how you learn, right, buddy?
Mhm.
So I need to get.
No.
Oh. All right, so I gotta get the string. I don't need the string anymore because everything is centered, so I'm not worried about that.
I'll get the other one. I'll go get the other one.
And you can leave it in there. It's fine. It's not gonna hurt
I'll
it.
get it.
Okay, you're gonna go in there and untie it.
Hee-hee.
Can you handle it? So here, let's talk about the next phase.
Is there
A Bigfoot? Yeah, we've been watching a lot of Bigfoot stuff. Bigfoot's like become our new obsession.
Bigfoots haunt my house. How do you get this?
Huh? What? Where? Oh, let me climb in here.
Bigfoots haunt my house.
Oh no, don't do that.
How do you do it?
I actually, that's all right. You gotta untie it. It's a knot now. You gotta untie it. Don't worry about it. Just leave it because I might need it again. Just leave it. It's fine.
Oh.
Just leave it. It can stay there. So the next plan is we're gonna extend this frame rail all the way to here.
Let me see.
So that way it creates a better system here. So we have rails all the way to the rear here where they didn't really do a good job the way they did this. So this is all getting fixed. So that's going to have a rail there. We're going to do... what? Who? Where?
The wheel well things are going to stay like that.
The wheel tubs are staying.
The
So.
wheel tubs things.
So eventually... And what I'm going to do is we're getting a generic cage for the car, which actually should fit pretty good. I've been sizing it up for just a mild steel cage, nothing crazy. But it's either going to be a round tube that I'm going to plate this, and then round tube rail there, or I'm just going to continue and then I'll just do gussets with the frame stock and just run them right to there. So we'll figure it out. Just kind of going with the flow. But like I said, I'm going to X these. So I'm probably going to put another brace here and another one here. I mean, it's probably overkill. It probably doesn't even need that.
You're making it even stronger.
Yeah, but you only need so much. Then it's just kind of overkill. The car's going to have a full cage, so it's going to have full snout, snout bars coming all the way over, all the way up to a dash bar. It'll have a complete dash bar. Full halo, the full front hoop all the way to the back, bars to the back. So technically a 850 cage, I guess, or 12 point. So cool.
sparks.
Yeah, making some sparks.
So what are we doing?
I'm cutting off the bracket for the steering for the rack because I gotta move it over.
Yep.
So the good thing is it'll be in a better spot now. It's kind of weird because when I first put it on there, based on the measurements on the diagram for this front end, the width spread seemed like it wasn't gonna sit properly. It was weird the way this was positioned. So I put it on there anyways and just figured when I got the steering rack I would check it. So as soon as I put the steering rack in there, I noticed it was off. So no big deal.
Yeah, no big deal.
Got my new safety glasses, by the way. Did you see them?
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm. $11.
$11.
Yep. Oh, who's calling me?
I don't know.
For my steering rack.
Oh.
I just got stock tie rods. See?
Did you just order them?
This morning.
What? They come that fast?
Should be the right ones. Oh no, they're wrong. Crap. It's different size. My bad. That sucks. Actually, that might work out better. I could probably.
How does it work out better?
Well, because. That's right. I'll figure it out.
Why sometimes they give you the wrong parts?
No, it's the. I looked them up, and it's.
Sometimes the measurements are wrong.
No, it's the.
Right?
This is technically these are for Pinto steering rack, but sometimes it doesn't work out like that.
What's a Pinto?
It's a type of car from back in the 70s. So, whatever.
What you liked?
No, it's just the style of the front end that we use. This is a Mustang 2 front end.
Oh.
It's
What?
we're-
On the Morris Minor already?
Yeah, it's called a Mustang 2 front end, which is from 1974 to like 1978, I think, or 81.
What's the front end?
No,
Like
80. I don't know, but whatever. It's just that's the front end, like the control arms.
the control
But
arms.
the
and
steering
stuff?
rack is from a 71, 72 Pinto, and that's what those tie rods are for.
But they're a different size.
Yeah. But either way, I have to shorten this either way, so I can just change. I can change the ends because these were actually cut down and resized. You can see the way they machined them.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to cut this back a lot anyway. I have to probably cut back almost 4 inches.
Mm-hmm.
So
it
I
kind of works out.
I could actually get grade 8 bolts and use the threaded part of the bolt and put it inside the sleeve. That'll match the thread pitch.
It actually works.
Or I can actually just buy. I can get tie rod ends, the inners, if they sell them. I don't think they do though.
Yeah, cause
Whatever. I'll figure it out. I'm not worried about it. I'll make it work. Let's grind. Make some noise.
Why'd you make the sparks come my way?
Sorry.
You know I don't like sparks.
Sorry.
You made them come my way.
There's not much I can do about it.
It fits?
It's definitely gonna fit. I'm not worried about that.
Oh, I know. You remember that guy with that like crazy zooming in camera on that thing? That like zooming in like that.
Oh, on the Bigfoot documentary?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it? A 50 times something?
Yeah, it was like a 50 times zoom in and something. And you could see the stuff like super clear.
Yeah, that was some crazy footage that he has.
Yeah, and he has like,
from the Bigfoot stuff.
and he has like he shows you like these like videos of like zooming in on Bigfoot faces, and at first I thought they were fake, but they're actually real.
No, he definitely has. It's on. What was it on? Amazon Prime?
No, I just
Netflix? No, Amazon Prime. It was on Amazon Prime. If you search it on Amazon Prime, we have a Fire Stick, and you search.
It's called a Bigfoot.
The guy's name is
Todd Standing.
Standing, and he's a. I guess he's a tracker.
He's like a professional tracker. He's like.
But he went into like the northern
area.
Northern Alberta, Canada, and he literally had interactions with these.
And he got attacked by a grizzly bear.
Yeah, that happened too. But he literally was interacted with these types of. I don't even know. I mean, I guess you could call them Bigfoot because they're almost like.
Or like Sasquatches.
It's almost like a primate that walks like a human. It's really weird.
And you see
you
see them like take apples with their hands, and you see them on like thermal.
So if anybody's curious about any Bigfoot stuff, I would highly recommend. It's from 2017.
That's when he made it, because he has some videos from like 2012.
Yeah, some of the videos are older, but he was a lot of stuff he was doing was from.
And he's like the only person who gets into like actual interactions with Bigfoot.
Well, he's nuts. He was in the woods with a thermal camera and a what was it?
With a
night vision. It's a night vision camera.
Yeah, there's a night vision camera.
You literally can't see anything.
And a thermal camera.
I mean, it's like pitch black.
Yeah,
in the woods by himself. He's crazy.
He shows you what he sees in like the first like actual part where he's in the woods on camera.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
He sees like pitch black stuff.
So look it up. You'll see. It's like Bigfoot. I think it's called Bigfoot documentaries, or I don't know. The guy's name is
Todd Standing.
Pretty cool stuff. I mean, who knows if it's all real, but it looked pretty real.
Yeah, it seems pretty real.
I'm a believer. I think Bigfoot's real. Why not? Why can't it be real?
No.
Why not?
Before I watched it, I didn't think Bigfoot was real, but after I watched that the first time, I didn't change my mind that Bigfoot was real.
Yep. All right, enough about Bigfoot. You can shut that off.
Okay, baby.
So what I'm doing is I'm just making sure that I'm level from tab to tab, which is actually off a little.
It's off.
Well, because right now my frame is level.
Mhm.
So everything else I do needs to be the same. So I need to make sure that I'm level, which I am. And I marked it. So the mark right here is for the where it's going to be.
You can't really see that far. And the camera, it looks like it's farther away.
change my settings.
Why?
I was wondering why it was slow. I was welding something else yesterday.
I didn't know.
Or actually not yesterday. I had to go to somebody's house and weld in a change cross member for a transmission on a Mustang because they're going from a 2-speed power glide to a turbo 400.
Whoa.
Which changes the location of the mount. So I had to change and make tabs, and it was great. I had this much room to work underneath the car up on jack stands. I had my this machine with the generator because I figured it'd be easier to MIG weld, and working basically in a damp garage. So yeah, that almost made me feel like crap the rest of the day. That's okay.
Why is it smoking?
Just it's burning because you're melting into the metal. The bottom half of that will get. Eventually, I'm putting this car on the lift, and I gotta weld
The bottom.
underneath and around everything.
Will this car even be able to go in the lift? Because it's so it's like.
This car is actually going to be pretty easy to put on a lift because you just lift it from the 4 corners of the frame there, front and then the rear.
Actually, right there, there, and there,
And then the rear
and
half,
over
yeah.
there.
Yep.
But will it reach? Because this car's kind of like skinny. The width.
Don't you worry, we make it work. Well, that should be better for the steering now, so that's good.
So let's see if it works.
Alright, so got the new bracket. I got it, well, not new, but I got the bracket move over for the steering rack, so now I can bolt this down, and then that fits in the proper position, so I can tighten that down. So now I can figure out my tie rod situation and how far I got to trim these inner rods back. The downfall was the tie rod that I ordered is not really the right one, so that's the problem. So I either can change the thread of the end here, which this has to get cut back anyways, but I was hoping to reuse this end, but I don't really necessarily need to because I believe the new ones are that's a 1/2 inch fine thread. I'm almost positive, or at least could be a 9/16. I'll have to check it and measure it. We'll figure it out. So, all right, let me tighten that down. So that's good. I want to get the spacers on the lower control arms. So they're all set. Get those welded in. I got to do a gusset on here for this. This tubing here needs a gusset that it comes with. I have to weld that to the frame. And then these are supported obviously from this front bar, which gives it plenty of support. So those aren't going anywhere. And then I gotta finish weld all these eventually. I'm gonna wait because I want to see and make sure that everything is gonna line up. So we're good to go. Cool. Let's get cracking. So, I went to Tractor Supply and Dunkin' Donuts, and I picked up some 9/16 by 18 grade 8 bolts. And what I'm thinking about, because I'm not going to need a lot of adjustment on the tie rods because it's not going to be that much to adjust. So that is the thread pitch of that tie rod. because I have to cut the tie rods back anyways, and I have to sleeve them in order to re-weld them, I'm just going to cut the bolt and use this part with the existing inner tie rod, and then that'll be my thread that my outer tie rod can screw onto. So that's it. So let's rock and roll.
What's so funny?
You. I didn't kill it. So I got the tie rods just in place right now the way I want them. So I marked them where I'm going to cut it, and then I'll just do a small sleeve. And I think I'm going to also add, because the problem with these is that you have to grab them with vice grips in order to adjust. So I'm going to add an actual nut on there so you can adjust it. It'll be easier. That's the jam nut. That's not the nut. So we'll see what we get. Woohoo! All right, so here's what we did. We cut the existing inner tie rod, made these sleeves. They are drilled so I can plug weld. I'm also going to weld around the outer edges. So that is a grade 8, 9/16 18 pitch bolt. That is now my other side of my inner tie rod. So once this is fully welded, I plug weld on both sides. I drilled right through, so I got 2 spots to plug weld, and everything lines up. That's the right side and that's the left side, same thing. So plug weld it, weld around the perimeter, plug weld on both sides. That's a thick walled tubing. You will definitely not have a problem. And it still has plenty of adjustment on there. I was gonna actually put some sort of an adjustment here so you could spin the inner tie rod, but it's just not even worth it because the amount of adjustment, it's gonna be so minimal, and it's only gonna need to be adjusted 1, maybe 2 times. So rock and roll. Let's weld it up. All right, tie rods are welded on, plug welded, and then I stitch welded around the seam. So they're plug welded on both sides. So now my inner tie rod is correct as far as length, that side also. So now I can use a standard Mustang 2 outer tie rod, and it works fine because I have Mustang 2 spindles, so it accepts the tie rod because it is a tapered seat, and the thread is 9/16, which also is 9/16. So just like that. See how it's hot? Smoking. So let that cool off. Put a little paint on her. Throw it back in here. Keep rolling. Got to make some shock or some coilover mounts. Got to figure out something with the top. And the bottom's just going to get, this is going to get cut off actually. I got to cut these out. So keep rolling. Alrighty, so we got some stuff accomplished on the, I got the sleeves in, they're tacked in place. I got the outer sleeve over here, started putting I got to straighten that, that's only tacked. Gussets, obviously the gussets, they go on the outer. So technically it's bolted in. I started finish welding some of the other brackets here. The steering rack is in, mounted, new bracket like we showed you. Tie rods are in, bolted in. So what I'm thinking is, on these inner wheel wells, because of the way they're built, I think what I'm going to end up doing is actually cutting most of this inner wheel well out. It'll access the wheel easier turning. Then we'll go from there. So stay tuned, we got a lot going on. So to be continued is what they say. Oh, wait, here comes Squints. Hold on. Hold on.
How did you make it without me?
I'm just finishing the video because I got to try to download all the other stuff. The GoPro is not downloading properly, so I'm doing a little bit of a finish video. So, Squint's got a haircut. I really don't want to have to re-video everything that we accomplished.
Why?
Because I don't want to. But I guess we might have to. So what do you think? Should we re-video? Or should we try to get the GoPro to work? Because I tried downloading like 5 times. It won't download.
Try to get the GoPro to work.
Okay, we'll try to make it work. I think it's the Wi-Fi. So what are you going to say to everybody? Subscribe, like, share, comment, right?
This is all for my
College fund. All right, well, minor mistake. Project to be continued. It'll be rolling real soon. I promise.